Fellas, listen up. If you've ever been confused about where you stand with a woman, this message is for you. Pulse. Women aren't always direct with their words, but when emotions start to grow, they do start saying things that give them away. And if you're paying attention, you'll see the signs loud and clear. These 7 phrases aren't random, they're windows into her heart. I was thinking about you. That one might sound casual, but it's not. When a woman says this, she's revealing that you're on her mind when you're not even there. That's powerful. She's emotionally investing. She's imagining a life with you in it, even in small, quiet moments. Pay attention. That's not just flirty, it's foundational. I feel safe around you. Safety is one of the highest emotional needs for a woman. If she says this, it means she trusts you not just with her body, but with her heart. That's not about muscles or bravado, that's about consistency, emotional maturity, integrity. I can tell you anything. Now we're talking vulnerability. This isn't just casual conversation. She's opening the doors to her inner world. She's testing the waters to see if you'll still accept her when she's not just smiling and looking pretty. If she tells you about her past, her fears, her dreams, she's letting you in. That's rare. Don't mishandle it. What do you think about was? This is her indirect way of checking your emotional temperature. She wants to know if you see this as more than just fun. She's not asking for a proposal. She's asking if she can hope, if she can build something. Don't dodge this. If you like her, be a man about it. I wish you were here. Translation, I miss you. She doesn't want to just text you. She wants your presence, your voice, your energy. When a woman starts saying this consistently, her feelings are growing. She's not just tolerating your company. She craves it. You make me want to be better. This isn't about impressing you. It's about you inspiring her. Love has that power. It awakens the desire to grow, to evolve, to strive. If she says this, you're not just a crush. You're a catalyst. I've never felt this way before. That's her confession, her surrender. She's not just dropping hints anymore. She's letting you know that you've broken through the walls. This is when the game changes. And how you respond at this point will define the future. So don't get distracted by mixed signals or second guessing. If a woman's developing real feelings, these 7 things will escape her lips, intentionally or not. The real question is, will you be man enough to recognize them, and rise to meet her there? When a woman starts developing feelings for you, her words begin to carry weight far beyond their surface meaning. What seems like a casual phrase might actually be a profound expression of emotional investment. Most men listen to what a woman says, but few listen to a why she's saying it. And that difference is everything. Emotional investment doesn't always come with grand gestures or dramatic confessions. Often, it shows up in the subtle shifts in how she communicates. When she starts saying things like, I was thinking about you, it might seem innocent, couples, but it's not just about the thought. It's about her willingness to admit that you've occupied space in her mind. That simple statement is a crack in her emotional armor. It means that even in the quiet moments of her day, your presence is felt. This investment becomes clearer when her words start to reflect care and consideration. She asks about how your day went, remembers small details you mentioned in passing, and follows up on them later. That's not just politeness, it's presence, emotional presence. It means she's paying attention because your well-being matters to her. You're not just a background character anymore. You've become a central part of the emotional landscape she's navigating. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because something inside her is shifting. Her language also becomes more inclusive. You'll notice the word "we" starts slipping into her conversations. We should try that place. Or we'd have fun doing this. This isn't just conversation filler. It's her subconscious beginning to picture a future with you in it. She's no longer thinking in terms of me and you, but that's emotional investment, plain and simple. It's her way of testing what it feels like to include you in her world long term. And if you miss that shift in tone, couples, you miss a major sign that her feelings are deepening. Another powerful sign shows up in the way she talks about her emotions. When she starts opening up about her fears, her dreams, and her past, that's her trusting you with the most private parts of her identity. Words like, I've never told anyone this before, or I feel like I can talk to you about anything, are giant emotional green lights. That kind of vulnerability is never random. It's a sign that she feels safe, not just physically, but emotionally. And emotional safety is the bedrock of true connection. Even compliments change in tone. Instead of saying, "You look good," she'll say things like, "Oh, how to make me laugh," or "I love the way your mind works." These aren't surface-level observations. They're reflections of how she feels about your character, your energy, your soul. They're signs that she's seeing you, not just for what you do, but for who you are. So when a woman is developing feelings, her words evolve. They become more intentional, more personal, more revealing. The emotional investment she feels leaks through the language she uses, whether she means to or not. That's why listening closely matters. Because when a woman's heart starts to open, it doesn't shout, it whispers. And it's in those whispers that the truth lies.
Emotional safety is more attractive than physical perfection because, at the end of the day, attraction isn't just about what the eyes see, it's about what the heart feels. Physical looks can catch attention, but emotional safety holds it. A man might have the most chiseled jawline, the perfect smile, and a sculpted body, but if a woman doesn't feel safe with him emotionally, those traits fade into the background. What women crave deep down isn't just chemistry or aesthetics, it's connection. It's the feeling of being able to show up as they truly are without fear of judgment, ridicule, or rejection. When a woman feels safe around a man, that's when she begins to let go of her armor. That's when she lets him see not just her beauty, but her vulnerability, her fears, her truth. Safety isn't about being soft or passive, it's about being stable. It's about being emotionally consistent. A woman feels safe with a man who keeps his word, who doesn't play mind games, and who doesn't change depending on who's watching. It's not about saying the right thing, it's about being the right presence. Emotional safety is created when a man listens, not just to respond, but to understand, when he doesn't mock her feelings or dismiss her struggles. When he honors her voice, even when she's unsure of how to express what she's going through. That kind of man is rare. That kind of connection is magnetic. Women are intuitive. They can tell when a man is pretending, when he's only there for validation, or when he sees her as just another conquest. But when she senses that a man values her emotions, respects her boundaries, and wants to understand her world, that's when something deeper takes root. She begins to relax, she opens up, she lets herself be seen, because she knows she won't be punished for being real. In a world that often tells women to shrink, to smile through pain, to be perfect, emotional safety feels like oxygen. It's life, giving, and here's the thing. Emotional safety doesn't mean a man has to have all the answers. It just means he's willing to be present in the unknown. It's not about fixing everything. It's about not running when things get hard. When a man can sit with her in silence, hold her hand through the storm, and say, "I'm here," without needing to control or escape, that's when she falls, not because he's perfect, but because he's real. Because he's solid, because she knows that with him, she won't have to fight to be heard or beg to be understood. That's the kind of attraction that doesn't fade. That's the kind of bond that lasts. Physical perfection might excite for a moment, but emotional safety builds a foundation for something enduring. Because beauty might draw her close, but safety keeps her there. And when she finds that kind of security in a man, not just emotional sensitivity, but emotional strength, that's when love doesn't just spark, it ignites. Vulnerability is her way of inviting you into her world, and when she opens that door, it's not something to take lightly. For a woman, being vulnerable isn't a weakness, it's an act of incredible strength. It means she's choosing to show you parts of herself that she doesn't reveal to just anyone. It's the emotional equivalent of handing you a key to her private sanctuary. And if she's doing that, it means she trusts you. She's letting you in, not because she's needy or desperate, but because she sees something in you that feels safe enough to reveal her truth. When a woman begins to share her insecurities, her fears, her dreams, or the pain she's been through, she's not just talking, she's testing. She's watching to see how you'll respond. Will you listen without judgment? Will you make her feel seen instead of exposed? That response tells her everything she needs to know. Because if you can't handle her vulnerable moments, then you don't deserve her brightest ones either. She's not looking for someone to fix her. She's looking for someone to *stand beside her *. Vulnerability is not about weakness, it's about intimacy. It's how emotional bonds are formed. When she tells you something personal, she's asking a silent question. Can I trust you with this part of me? Some men make the mistake of brushing vulnerability off or turning it into a joke. They try to stay cool or distant when a woman starts opening up. But what they don't realize is that they're missing the most important moment of all. Because when she drops the mask and shows you her raw, unfiltered self, she's saying, "This is who I really am. Can you handle it?" If the answer is yes, if you show up, if you listen, if you honor her truth, you've just crossed a threshold most never reach. You'll notice this vulnerability in subtle ways at first. Maybe she starts telling you stories from her past, ones that shaped her or broke her. Maybe she lets you see her cry or admits that she's scared of getting hurt. That's not drama. That's not manipulation. That's her letting you see the real person behind the curated image. And if you respect that, she'll go deeper. She'll share more. And that emotional closeness will create a kind of intimacy that no physical act can replicate. It's easy to connect with someone when things are light and fun. But real relationships are built in the trenches. They're built when you hold space for someone else's pain, when you offer comfort without condition, when you love the unpolished, imperfect parts of someone just as much as the highlights. So when a woman becomes vulnerable with you, recognize the privilege in that moment. She's not being weak, she's being brave. She's risking rejection in the hope of real connection. And how you respond determines whether she continues to let you into her world or quietly starts closing the door again. Vulnerability isn't just an invitation, it's a test, and if you pass it, you'll earn a place in her life that few others ever reach. When a woman asks a question like, "What do you think about us?" it's rarely just casual conversation. It's a carefully crafted doorway into her deeper thoughts, her emotions, and more importantly, her hopes. These indirect questions aren't meant to trap you or pressure you. They're subtle invitations to explore what might be possible between the two of you. She's trying to gauge if she's alone in her feelings or if you're quietly walking the same path she is. It's her way of reaching out without risking everything, of putting a piece of her heart on the table without fully exposing it. This kind of question often comes at a pivotal moment, after time spent getting to know you, after enough connection has been built that she starts wondering where it's all going. She may not want to say, "I have feelings for you," or "I'm falling for you," because those words carry weight and vulnerability. But by asking what you think about the relationship, she's giving you the opportunity to take the lead emotionally. She's asking, "Do you see this the way I do?" without saying it outright. It's not always the words themselves that matter most, it's the emotional undertone behind them. Sometimes this question will come wrapped in humor or disguised within another topic. She might say something like, "Have you ever thought about being in a serious relationship?" Or "Do you think we'd make a good couple?" It might sound playful, but don't let that fool you. These questions are litmus tests. She's reading between the lines of your answer just as much as she's listening to your actual words. If you respond with avoidance, indifference, or deflection, she'll take that as a sign that her feelings are deeper than yours. But if you lean in, if you match her openness with honesty, then a door opens. A shared moment of clarity forms. What's important to understand is that women don't ask questions like this unless they've already been thinking deeply about you. She's imagined what it would be like to build something with you. She's wondered if you see her as more than just a friend or a fling. And while she might be brave, she's still human, still afraid of being too much or misreading the signals. That's why indirect questions are often her safest way to seek reassurance. She's hoping you'll affirm what she's starting to feel. She's hoping you'll meet her in that vulnerable space and give her a reason to believe in the connection. If you recognize that moment for what it is, a quiet cry for emotional clarity, you'll understand just how meaningful your response really is. It's not about having the perfect answer. It's about having a sincere one. When a woman asks what you think about us, she's not just looking for your opinion, she's looking for alignment, for honesty, for a glimpse into your heart. It's a chance to show her whether she's safe to hope or if she should guard her heart a little tighter. Either way, your words in that moment will speak volumes. When a woman starts valuing your presence over your texts, it's a clear sign that her emotional attachment to you is growing. Texting is convenient, easy, and often the first way two people stay connected. But when those casual, digital interactions are no longer enough for her, when she starts saying things like, "I wish you were here," or "It's not the same without you," she's revealing something deeper. She's not just interested in talking to you. She wants you, the real you, the version of you she can see, touch, laugh with, lean on, and experience in the moment. That desire for physical proximity isn't always about intimacy in the romantic sense. It's about closeness in the emotional sense. Being near someone changes everything. It's where tone, energy, body language, and presence all come into play. When she wants you around, it means your presence brings her comfort, joy, or even just peace. It means that being with you feels better than imagining you or messaging you. That shift, from liking the idea of you to craving the reality of you, is where emotional bonds begin to deepen, and it's important to understand that this isn't about clinginess or neediness. It's about emotional safety and connection. When she chooses your company over convenience, she's making an unspoken statement, "You matter to me more than the screen between us." This type of emotional attachment often builds gradually. At first, she might be excited just to hear from you, to get a text or a call, but then something changes. Texts no longer satisfy the emotional craving she feels. She begins to miss the sound of your voice, the way you look at her when she talks, the shared moments that only happen in person. She starts associating you with comfort, happiness, and stability, not because you've said the right things, but because of how you make her feel when you're around. You may notice this desire through subtle cues. She might start finding reasons to be near you more often. She may invite you into her daily life, even if it's just for a quick errand or to share a meal. She'll prioritize spending time with you over other distractions. Even if her schedule is busy, she'll carve out moments because being with you feels fulfilling. Proximity matters because it transforms connection into reality. It takes emotional interest and turns it into emotional investment. When a woman wants your presence, she's showing that she values the real-time experience of you, not just your thoughts through a screen, but your reactions, your energy, your attention. That's something texting will never replicate. And if you're wise, you'll recognize that desire for what it is, not just interest, but attachment. She's not just saying, "Talk to me." She's saying, "Be here with me," and that speaks volumes. Because when someone wants to be around you, not for what you give them, but simply because of how they feel when you're there, it's not about romance anymore. It's about connection. It's about home. And when a woman starts feeling that way, it means her heart is no longer just curious. It's beginning to commit. When a woman tells you that you inspire her or that you make her feel things she hasn't felt before, it's a powerful indication that her feelings have gone beyond the surface. These aren't lines meant to flatter you or flirt casually. They're emotional admissions. They signal that something inside her has shifted because of your presence in her life. Most of the time, people use compliments to express admiration. But when a woman uses language like "you inspire me," or "I've never felt this way with anyone else," she's not just commenting on who you are, she's revealing what you're doing to her emotionally. That's not flirtation, that's foundation. That's the beginning of something that could grow into real emotional depth. Inspiration is a deeply personal experience. It means that something about you, your mindset, your energy, your ambition, your kindness, has moved her on a level that touches her own identity. Maybe you've encouraged her to dream bigger, to take a chance, or to see herself in a new light. That's not something she'll ever forget. When a man makes a woman feel like she's more herself around him, not less, that's the moment emotional roots start to form. She begins to associate you with growth, with possibility, with warmth. That's not the stuff of shallow infatuation. That's how emotional bonds are built. Equally, when she says you make her feel things she's never felt before, that's not just about excitement or chemistry. It's about awakening. You've triggered something inside her that perhaps she didn't even know was there. Maybe it's a feeling of being safe and seen, or a sense of being desired in a way that honors her soul and not just her body. Maybe it's the spark of a connection that feels real in a world full of fleeting moments. That kind of emotional response doesn't come around often, and when it does, it's significant. A lot of men hear these words and think it's just a compliment. They brush it off or underestimate its weight, but they miss the deeper truth. A woman doesn't say things like that to just anyone. She says it when her heart is starting to take the lead. She says it when she's no longer just curious about you, but emotionally invested in what you bring to her life. Inspiration and emotional awakening are signs that her guard is lowering, that she's starting to imagine a deeper connection with you. And when that happens, you're no longer just someone she enjoys talking to. You're becoming someone she sees as part of her emotional world. This isn't the time to play it cool or act distant. It's the time to pay attention. Because when a woman opens up like that, when she gives you access to her emotional experience, she's offering you something rare. She's giving you a glimpse of how deeply she's beginning to care. She may not say, "I love you," yet, but in many ways, she's saying something even more powerful. "You've changed me." And when those words are spoken with sincerity, they are not casual. They are the roots of something real. So if you've been hearing these subtle but powerful things from a woman, if she's opening up, asking where things are going, expressing how you make her feel, or craving your presence, don't brush it off. Pay attention. These aren't random words, they're emotional signals. They mean she's letting her guard down, trusting you, and stepping closer. And when a woman starts to show you her heart in these quiet, vulnerable ways, it's not just flirtation. It's the beginning of real emotional connection. Don't miss the chance to meet her there, because if you respond with presence, honesty, and clarity, that's where something extraordinary can begin.